How's it going, guys? Test failed here. I hope you're gonna play your test today. Otherwise, when you playing, or I guess not really playing, but I'm gonna be showing you the levels of like New Super Mario Bros. Plus. I thought I had an idea for how I want to name this, but I still haven't. 7 videos in, and we only have one more left after this. So that's not gonna be fun. Anyways, we have World 7, which is gonna be Cosmic Cove, although I don't think I spelled that right. Looking back at it. And then, yeah, so we have these few levels. Definitely in terms of gameplay-wise, I like this, and that's just because, it involves space. It's essentially a spacey world, but we'll get into that a little bit. And by that I mean, like, right here, but it's just that, hey, let's go down the pipe, because vertical sub-areas, only vertical sub-areas. Alright, and turn up the volume for me. Alright, so, here, it's not very easily to tell, but this is actually supposed to be the airship that was from 6-dash airships and from World 6. That's what I tried to do, but I didn't really want to make too much time, or spend too much time making it. So I was like, hey, here's a dock, here's a bullet bill that's tied to a star coin. Is that bullet bill gonna be high enough? Let's see. But yeah, there's a star coin way up here that you're supposed to get. I just thought it would be kind of clever that it's at the very top up there, when there's just a bullet bill up here. But at the same time, it is also a bit, like, mean, because it's like, you might not think to do this. Although I think you might be able to actually fall down from it from a higher ledge. I don't know, though. Anyways, we got a high jump. We've got this random setup that I decided to do. I'm not sure... I don't think really much changed. Here's this note block. I only used the note blocks. I didn't have to use a spring, although a spring could have probably also worked just as fine. But I just didn't want you to pick it up. That was the main issue here. Oh, never mind. You actually can't fall from above. You have to get it using the bullet bill, which is a bit annoying, I guess. But that was kind of an accidental design flaw. Then you're essentially like the entirety of this level is essentially just climbing up. Like that's essentially what you're doing. Because, you know, you're getting into space, you know, you have to be climbing up for that, and also you might have just saw something, which I don't think actually works because you're going up, but you saw there was a Goomba just inside there. That's just because now these Goombas are half a block away from each other instead of a full block, because otherwise, if I didn't have this Goomba here, yeah, it would have been like that. And, that's why I was like, if I put this here, it'll make it slightly in the middle, so now, yeah, now they're half a block. Or half a tile, pixel, whatever, away. Now here comes, honestly, in my opinion, a really mind-boggling star coin. Like, do I really have something against you getting it from above? Like, why? I don't understand. I don't understand. Oh, I just fell. Well, whoops. Yeah, you preferably don't want to be falling, because if you do have to make your way back up, which could sometimes be annoying. I cannot ground pound for the life of me right now. Alright, anyways, here's a dumb... Where is it? There it is, the hidden block that just lets you get it. Still think it's really dumb. Don't know why I didn't... Don't know why I never fixed it, either. But it still is. I mean, admittedly, I got kind of lazy and never really, like, bothered trying to fix, like, the later world, which was a dumb idea. Anyways, here is a setup. It's supposed to be a vine that only triggers when you hit this P-switch. Which, I mean, I guess that works. But I feel like it would have been kind of more fun if you had like a P-switch platform section than just hit a switch and it activates a vine. I guess it's kind of cool in concept. I will say though, this world does have a lot of... Well, I guess this world is entirely... as in like entirety, is kind of like inspired by Lunar Realm and Starry Skies, which are two worlds in newer Super Mario Bros. Wii and newer Super Mario Bros. DS. Anyways, here we have the climb. Here we have this kind of annoying hammer bro, because reasons. I mean, I guess it's a hammer bro is always going to be annoying, but when you're climbing the vine, it can sometimes be annoying. And also, I just realized it don't have that much water, so that was a bit of a dumb mistake. Next up, we have a very not great idea concept for, or not really great, it's more like, I made the star coin a bit harder than it should be, just to get... You're supposed to get inside this, this door, which leads to the other side. But the point, or the main reason why I say it's harder than it should be is because it, like, it's not that fun to have to, like, squeeze your way through. Like, as you can see, like, you have to get, like, the perfect angle. Which can just be annoying. I messed it up. You can kind of see how I say how this is, like, it's really hard. Like, look, I just, like, barely made that. I don't get why it's, like, why that's unnecessarily hard. Like, all I really need to do... Oh, whoops. Was do that. And then all of a sudden, like, getting it would have been so much easier. Because then you could, like... Yeah. And even then, I'm pretty sure if, like, if you... whoops. Can I do wraparound drop? There we go. But I'm pretty sure, like, if you go like this... Not like that. If you go like this... You'll make it? Oh, no, you won't. But the point is that it's much easier to get inside. I either could have done that, or I could have just removed this section. Oh, whoops. But, yeah, you get the point. I could have also just removed that. Oh, right, yeah, this is a cool thing. So, as you can see, there's actually 2 of these, of the 2 of the backgrounds in front. And the reason why I put that is so that it makes the background look more, like, more, I guess, I don't know what's the word, but you get the idea. But also, another idea is that you could have just done that, so that would have been much easier to get inside. Again, kind of a hard, like, unnecessarily hard star coin, but it works, I guess. And here you are. Here you are in the spacey world. I guess. Now, I don't know if you can actually get the star coin by just doing, or getting the top of the black hole by just doing that. Yeah, no, you don't get really that close, because the space physics in this game are not as pronounced, it feels like. You have to do this, and even then you have to twirl. By the way, like, an issue about New Super Mario Bros. And in the night theme is you could just go like this. And essentially just keep the height that you need. So that's a bit of an issue. That's something I didn't really figure out until I was already making this world. So that's a big whoops. But it's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine, alright? I mean, it's one of those cases where it's like, in my videos that I make, I try not to abuse that feature that much. Anyways, here we have, now you're actually in space kind of moments where you have a spring. It is possible to get up here without the spring. I just, like, I just put the spring there in case you want to. I'm not even sure if it's possible to make it with the spring. No, you can't. You have to wall jump. But what I'm trying to say is that it is possible to do it without the spring. So if you end up losing the spring somehow, like, oh, whoops. You can still get up here with, like, some well-timed jumps, and also using the twirl technique thingy. Anyways, here's this little setup, I guess, that gets you some coins and a mushroom. And then here we have like, not really a unique enemy, but hey, look, it's a 2x1 beetle that has a spike on top of it, I guess. I don't know what I was thinking of. It just, in my opinion, it just felt, like, I couldn't really put a Goomba, because a Goomba, like, floats. So that's why I was like, okay, well, you know what? This works. Oh, it despawned. Well, it's okay. So yeah, you get some fun little spacey platforms, which is kind of cool. Alright, I did not mean to spin jump. Whoops. It's not spin jump only, calm down, myself. No. Anyways, you got a little platform that you just need to make the jump up here. I messed up. But let's worry about that again. I think it's actually better if I go like this. I get some speed. Alright, well, I mean, it is possible to make it without the platform. But, like, apparently I'm not able to do it for some reason. Anyways, start going up here. I feel like that's not that, like, hard to get to, because you kind of... Well, or first of all, when you're going down here, you see it. Like, you see the start coin is up there. And then you just need to make your way up there, and you see there's a platform. I will say, trying to get it like this doesn't work quite well. But again, the twirl tech... Oh, no, that works! Wow! I love how I try to get it in the way I normally do and I fail, and then, like, not even me trying, I succeed. What is... why? Anyways, here's some vines. I don't know why I put this here. This is actually a weird part of the space world, now that I think about it, just having vines everywhere. And then here's a fire bar that I did not do the best way to try to avoid, but that works. It's just like, generally, how World 7 is generally just about, like platforming. That's kind of the idea. And I mean, I guess small spoilers, but I feel like I don't use the space concept enough, and that's because the first level is just kind of you getting into the space world, and then 2 other levels are not even like spaced. They're like based around this the nighttime sky theme, and what's next? Oh, and 2 of the levels are what's it called? Are like the tower and the castle, so that doesn't even count. And then there's one, like, special level that's not really actually in, like, a normal level, so... yeah, that doesn't even count either. So that means there's, like, only, like, 2 levels that actually like, have the proper theme applied. Anyways, what I was trying to show earlier is that this is start going up here. If you do... that method does work. I still don't understand why I did it like this, though. Like, really? Because, like, as you can see, I just kind of mess it up. Also, I think you can actually just kind of... oh, whoops. Oh my goodness. That's funny. But yeah, I think there's a... isn't there like a... oh no, never mind. But yeah, the start coin is kind of rigged in my opinion. Or like, not really like rigged, but like more like... you're not expected to find that, I feel like. Like, that's kind of just hidden doing that. Anyways. We've got tons more platforming, and then we've got... whatever the heck this setup was. Especially since it doesn't even launch you that high. Does not give you the height you need unless it's like directly... above, which even then it doesn't give you the height. I think what needs to happen is it needs to be like this, and like the ground needs to be removed just for that this to work. Even then, it doesn't even give you the height. I don't understand why I did that. I mean, I do like this world gameplay wise. Design wise, I feel like it's a bit odd, but at least it's better than World 6. Oh my goodness, that was just not a fun world. Anyways, here, as you can see, there's actually a note block behind this, this grinder. The main reason I put the grinder there and the note and the on-off block is so that it removes the temptation to, like, to damage boost through it, because I don't want you to damage boost through it. I messed that up, wow. Oh well. Anyway, like, what I mean by that is if you grab, let's just grab a acorn mushroom right now. But, like, the point is that I don't want you to just do this. First of all, like, you can only get them when you're small. It's also kind of hard to survive, but... yeah, I don't really want you to do that. I guess the best way I could have done that is if I, instead of using a grinder, I used a... whoops. I used a bumper. Where is it? There it is. If I used a bumper, it would have made more sense, because then you could have only got that thing with a Koopa. Oh, whoops. I still think it's a bit finicky to get. It's a bit of a... I don't understand why I have it like this, too. Like, it's a very finicky, like, thing to... that's... I did not know the Goomba could do that. That's funny. Anyways, you need to hit that to off. Oh, God. So that you can, if we go over here... that's the start coin. That one's a bit more clever, but also, like, not, because you have to get a shell in here. And, it's a bit odd that you have to do it like that in the first place, but... oh, well. There's more one level that I'm excited to talk about, not... and it's none of these ones, that's all I'm gonna say. These ones don't really matter that much. But yeah, there we go, that's the end of this level. Kind of short and not really a lot going on with it, apart from just, hey, there's space and you get to do some awesome jumps, I guess. I mean, like I said before, that's kind of the theme of World 7, is just platforming. Except for this one. So here we have, like, a space-like theme, and then we have to go down with some, like, annoying fuzzies, or quote-unquote fuzzies, that's what I try to say. to dodge. And I also have the controversial setup of why do I make it so that you can't backtrack. That's gonna... At least you can, like, die, so that if you do miss a star coin, you can at least try to get it again. Let's avoid the paratroopers, please. Or paratroopers in quotation marks. They would have wings, but then that would make them move insanely fast. Because if I did that... Yeah, it would move insanely fast. That's kind of more of an uncontrollable speed, and I don't agree with that. So, yeah, let's just move on. And hey, we've got a special question block that can actually crush you, so don't stand underneath there, preferably. Then I have this weird setup that I don't know why I did, but I did. We've got a piranha plant here. Now, it's just the still one, not like the one that actually tries to bite at you. That's something that I kind of wish that was in Mario Maker, is like have a piranha plant that like actually tries to bite at you. Instead of just like one that does this. Now, I think... When I originally made this, I think this was only, like... It only went like that. Which might explain why the coins were positioned like that. But yeah, I think the platform was moved like this, which made it almost impossible to get here without damage boosting. Or, like, without having a damage boost. Because, like, you had to, like... Especially when you were... Well, when you were small. Because, like, you had to, like, get in there somehow and not... You get the whole reasoning, so... That's why I ended up having to increase this, but I guess I never, whoops. But yeah, I guess I never ended up fixing the coin layout up there. That's kinda interesting. Wait, is this the one that- oh, whoa! That has a dev power-up, or in it or something? Because I feel like I remember there being, like, a propeller mushroom here. Or was that one- that might have been the one in World 6. I'm not sure. Whichever it wasn't really a dev power-up, I just put a hidden block with power for no reason, and I don't like that, so I removed it completely. That was a change I did. I jumped at the wrong time. It's okay. Well, anyways, here's a star coin that's not that hard to get at all. Like, you just need to jump. That's all you need to do. But hey, at least it's, like, better than, oh, there's a hidden block that you may or may not have known of. I'll give myself credit for that. Hey, look, that's a hammer chomp! This is an artificial enemy that I made that's possible in Mario Maker, and I just thought, hey, why not, like, stack a couple of maybe annoying enemies? First of all, the hammer rope, but at least it can't, like, run or, like, jump at you. It can only throw hammers, and then the chomp just being able to grab you. Alright. And this is basically it. Yeah, admittedly a pretty short level, if you think about it. But that's just how it goes. Even though it doesn't look like that short, but that's just because, like, Mario Maker doesn't really let you, whoops. Mario Maker doesn't really let you make big levels, unfortunately. Like, that's kind of a weird issue. Anyways, here's the end with this little setup here, where you, of course, you get launched into the sky. Or, not really. And then, oh no, wait, it's not this one. It's the other level that's like this. There we go, alright. Again, I try not to abuse the little, like, spin feature that lets you basically stall in the air completely. But yeah, there you go. The final star coin is up there. It's a bit weird to get to because it's like, it's kind of hard to make that jump, but it works, and that's it. That's, not really a whole lot happened with this level. This is honestly, like, a lot of World 7 is just kind of like, hey, it's a cool world and concept, but I feel like I don't utilize the concept very well. At least that's what I think. Okay, water break here, as we have World 7 Castle, or Tower even. And this is actually a little bit of an interesting situation here. Oh, whoops. Here we actually have, like, the tower on display, or not really. I just kind of, like, made, like, a sketch of the tower. And, here's the door that you walk into. And then you go inside. And there we go. Now, you might be wondering why did I have it like that? Well, you're gonna see in a little bit. Anyways, here we, again, concept of World 7. Or, not even a concept, but just like more of like I don't want to say gimmick, but more just generally how World 7 is. Just lots of platforming, so there's that. There's another hammer chomp that I made. We have fuzzies. And I missed my ride. And then we have a star coin, which also is again one of those is like, why do I prevent you from doing that? Also, is there anything in these? I never bother actually trying to open them up normally. But I guess there wasn't. There's this random spike that's like barely gonna be able to do anything if you're fast. Then we have lots of moving up. Although I guess, admittedly now I think about a lot of towers are just kind of like, hey, you have to move up. But through some odd platforming. Also, one weird thing about the swinging claws, in my opinion, is that, like, I feel like their like, chain is not long enough. Or I wish you can kind of extend, like, this little chain bit. Because otherwise, there's not really a good way to make it look like a vine. Like, the best way that I was able to do it was go... Yeah, go like that, and then put the... Oh, whoops. Okay, no. Can I go... Thank you. The best way that I was able to do to extend it was do something like that. So it kinda looks like, you know, it's extended, but, you know... That's like an artificial change that... I mean, it's more of like a decoration change, but like the fact that you can't customize the length of the claw is a bit odd. And something I kinda wish you could do. Anyways, that's supposed to... I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but the swinging claws like this are supposed to simulate, like, the vines you can kind of swing on in, like, jungle levels, more likely in Mario games. Which, I'm definitely looking forward to Super Mario Bros. Wonder. That's definitely a game I want to be playing. And here's, the second star coin, I think is what this one is. It's kind of one of those, it's like, it's just there. Like, it's not... There's not really anything to it, you just jump to it and you get it. It is kind of hard with this conveyor belt, though, so you kind of have to, like... Generally, how I like to do it is wall jump from the other platform. Now, here's something really weird. If you do this... Like, if you, like, run against the wall, you kind of get, like, bounced off, almost. Like, if you do this... Yeah, you see how I'm getting, like, bounced off a little bit? Like... It's kind of hard to tell, but... But yeah, it's really weird that it does that. Anyways, there's a wall jump, there's a skewer that you might have to avoid, or you can just go like that, assuming the skewer's up. And here we have a weird, wall jump challenge. The walls are moving and you have to wall jump with them, I guess. I don't think there's a... Is there like a solid block that you can jump on that you can put on tracks? That's like... Not really. I mean, I guess you could do this, but then, like, you would have to put so many of them. So I was like, okay, well, Bill Blasters, you can adjust their length, and you can at least put coins in them so they won't damage you. So there we go. This is a... I mean, it's a nice little challenge, in my opinion. It is a little bit harder if you, I think it's a bit harder if you either twirl, or if you're not, if you're not Super Luigi, or, like, the super version of yourself, it's kind of harder to do that, but it's whatever. Anyways, more fuzzies, then we have a really odd star coin over here. Let's do this so that the camera actually is aligned correctly. It's just so... Oh, jeez. It's so weird to get, because if you jump from here, you'll most likely just... Yeah, you're gonna end up hitting the wall, so you have to, like, go slightly down and then jump. And even then, you have to, like... Yeah, you have to, like... Still get the correct angle. It's weird. Also, trying to jump from here usually doesn't let you lean. So you kind of have to, like, go, like, there. There you go. And also, the hidden power-ups, yeah, it's right here. So actually, I'm pretty sure it's... Yeah, it's just in the middle. So if you need the hidden power-up because you're small or something, it's right there. But anyways... Here we go, we have a Boom Boom, but with the space physics. That's why the beginning of the level was in, like, little space demon. And I just thought I'd add a little bit of extra stuff, and, you know, it's cool, I guess. There is only one, like, kind of drawback about making it, not a castle, and you're about to see as we go through this door. Yeah, there's no, like, claw or anything, so I just have to put a flagpole. I mean, it works. That's all I'm gonna say. I feel like I'm not really talking about this world too much, but like admittedly it's just one of those worlds where it's like I didn't really have much else to say apart from it's a great world to play gameplay wise. But like in terms of like design wise, there's not really a whole lot interesting about it, admittedly. Excuse me. Okay, so now we've just got another space level. This means more platforming. So, yeah, here we go. And it's a hidden vine. I was meant to show it with this, with a flower, but I didn't put the flower in the right spot, so that was a whoops, and then I uploaded the level and I was like, oh, well, then, never mind. But another one of those, like, oh, you might not even see this hidden block, and I just think it's kind of dumb. I don't know why I do this a lot, where I have just, like, hidden blocks with vines that leads to star coins. Like, it works, but it feels so lazy, and it also feels like one of those, like, how many people are expected to see that? But yeah, anyways, we've got ourselves fuzzies all over this, all over these, like, little areas. Oh, whoa, hello. And these planets, like, or not planets, but, like, these, like, I guess floating stones, I guess you could say, because we're in space. The way they're made is actually kind of interesting. It's essentially just a lot of slopes. Oh, whoops. And I think, yeah, I think that's, like, the only... No, that is... I think that is... that and that. Yeah, those are, like, the only things that are actually, like, blocks. The rest of this is just, again, just made with slopes. So that's how this is made, and this one is made the same way. Now, these are made with, like, gentle and steep slopes, but just kind of, you know... I mean, if you're wondering how I made that, and how it looks like... almost like a... I guess, almost looks like a... Like a diamond... How a diamond would look like in a video game. Not from Minecraft, but, like, a diamond from a video game. At least. Now this on-off block is a trap. You don't want to hit it, you just want to go straight on forward. Because, it's not the easiest to get the star coin without it. Although, although I wouldn't say... Like, it's impossible. I want to say it's just a tad bit harder, because now you can't land on the platform, you just have to free jump it. Although, in any way, it actually might be easier. Now that I'm thinking about it, because you can kind of get the star coin from below. Never mind, I forget. This block is there that, like, trying to make sure that you hit the switch, because, yeah, you cannot wall jump from there, unless you do the cheat strat, where you just do this. There we go. Alright, whoa, there we go. Alright, jump. Alright, anyways, we've got the next section here, which is just more platforming, which you may or may not like. I don't know why I put this little red thing in here. Is there anything on the top? No, it's just kinda there. Anyways, cannons are here for some reason. I mean, they do lead to a star coin if you do take them. Like, if you take them like this. There we go. And apparently Luna's having some kind of temper tantrum or something. But yeah, the star coin up there is a bit odd. I don't know why I did that, but it's whatever. I like all the star coins in this level are a bit weird now that I think about it. But, I mean, what's new? This is New Super Mario Bros. Plus. I didn't really have much tools to work with. Oh, and to add some, like, not really continuity, but more like, to add, like, some reference to, not even reference, that's not even a word, like, to like, hype up the next level, I added this. Which, the next level is probably one of my most favorite levels I've ever made, because that one took, A, longer than it should have, and B, has a really fun concept that I wasn't really able to get much done with. Yep, it's a 7-rainbow. It's not 7-4, or 7-5 even. It's actually 7-rainbow, so that makes it show that this is actually a bit of a different level. So this one was, took quite a while to make. And the way I had to do this was just moving is like, I want to say I used up the entire, like, yeah, I used the entire, like, length that you can to make this level, even in the sub-area. Oh, never mind. I could have worked a little bit in the sub-area, but yeah, this one took a while. And there's a reason why. You have a limited amount of time, and you're essentially running, on Rainbow Road. And, now, that's supposed to be one of those things where you hit. Oh, wow, I didn't do it. There will be some, I have noticed that. Sometimes when I play this level, I'll hit the springs, but there will be a couple of times when I don't hit the springs. And I don't know what determines it easily. But, like, yeah, there we go. Now I hit the spring, but it is actually The level is, like, heavily dependent on if you actually hit the spring because of reasons. But I'll just show you, like, a run-through of what you're supposed to do. Now, kind of unintentionally, this Shellmet spawns again. I'm like, okay, well, you can grab it again if you want it. It does actually kind of help for a very specific section. Yeah, like, there, like, I don't know why I didn't hit the thing. Oh, whoops. Yeah, you don't want to fall behind, because you are under a time limit. It's not that strict, but if you do, like, make some failed jumps, you might not, like, end the level with that much time. Here's a star. And then you just gotta run through. Now, you might notice, yeah, this is the star cone. You're supposed to, like, jump behind it, but it's one of those things where it's, like, you should still have enough time if you do that. Oh, no. Oh, no. Let's jump up here. There we go. Alright, and then I think the fastest way to get past spike balls is just to spin jump over them. At least that's what I like to do. And Luna is having some weird stuff in the background. I don't know what's going on. But then here we go. You choose the bottom path, and there we go. That's the end of the level. So that's what you're supposed to do, but how did I make this? Well, in a quite uncomplicated way. So you might as well at the very beginning of the level, we go over here. There's this on-off switch. This is there to make it so we actually have blue blocks to work with, not red blocks. Because the only other block that's, like, blue that I could have used is you actually just saw it there. Or, I mean, the other blocks were POW blocks, but I was already using springs and P blocks for the orange blocks. So that, like, that would have filled up the entity limit way faster if I did POW blocks. I guess I could have used seesaws, but then they would have tilted back and forth and that would have looked a bit weird. I could have used conveyor belts, but again, that would have looked kind of a bit weird since it would have shot you forward. I guess that could have also worked. I could have used, like, snake blocks, but that wouldn't really make a lot of sense in a way, because then they would just move. And I could use ice blocks, but remember, ice blocks have, like, slipperiness to them, and it would be a little bit weird to just kind of run through a level like this, like, randomly getting icy physics, like, just kind of do that. So I was like, okay, well, what's the best way to do it? I know, I'll just make it so that it automatically hits this block. It'll automatically hit an on-off block, and it'll switch them to blue. The problem with that is if you actually noticed earlier, though, I didn't mean to get launched up like that. So first of all, if you hold run, you actually pick up the shell, and you're not supposed to do that. So that's a bit of a misplay. So what you have to do, or at least what I have to do, is I temporarily... Oh, I messed it up there. But yeah, the idea is I have to temporarily let go of run. You have to let go of X and then let it go again so that you keep most of your speed. But yeah, the spring pushes you back and lets you get the mushroom. And that lets you kind of go back here. But obviously when you go through this door, it's supposed to spawn you back up. But then all of a sudden... But if this door... Hold on, let's do this. Oh, whoops. If this door was right there, then you could probably already guess, but okay, well I need to start at the beginning of the level. Hold up. Oh, I messed it up. Oh well, that's a tiny bit annoying. First of all, actually here's something. Yeah, notice how it gets the star coin for you. If you don't get bounced back by the spring, it doesn't unload the spiny shell, meaning you can still get hit by it. But yeah, if you go through this door, it all of a sudden turns the blocks red, and now running through will kind of just make you fall down. And that was a bit of an issue, so I had to make this little door setup here, if I can move Luigi, and not put any ice blocks. So yeah, that's what I had to do here. I had to make a little door setup where it would trigger the blocks, and then once you go through that door, it would trigger the blocks again and would push you, and then you would run along your merry way. But yeah, if you don't get bounced back by the spring, this Shellmet does not unload. Does not unload, meaning it kind of keeps going, meaning it gets bounced back, and then it picks up the star coin, meaning you don't have to go down to it. So the way this was done, admittedly this took a lot of setup, and even then I feel like I didn't do it very well. The idea was that, oh, if I have the spiny shell, I should have it so that the spiny shell will kick, you'll kick the spiny shell into a power-up, which will let you get a power-up, because this is the only power-up in the level, apart from the star, but that's something else. But yeah, that's the whole point, is that, like, there's a power-up here, and I try to make it so that, like, when you kick the shell, you would get an item for it, but it's kinda hard to set that up. Like, you hit the block, and then I was like, okay, well, I need to, like, make sure that you actually get the mushroom, because you kind of just walk by it, as you can see. I kind of, actually, okay, for testing purposes, I'm actually gonna turn all of these, like, all, or those into red blocks. But the point is that, okay, well, this is a bit annoying. Actually, no, this isn't really, okay. But you kind of get the idea, is what I'm trying to say. It's kind of hard to explain. But, like, I had to make it so that you would kick the shell, and then you would still have time to grab the mushroom, because, as you notice, like, you actually kind of go past the mushroom, so I'm like, okay, if I do this where if I put a donut block, or not a donut block, a bumper right here, it means the shell can hit the question block, then it can go away, and you will be bounced up, giving you essentially time, because you get bounced up and you move slower when you're not on the ground. And I was like, okay, well, I need to make sure that you don't, like, bump into a wall, because I kind of don't want you to just, like, propel yourself forward without getting the mushroom. So that's why I have these springs set up. But for some reason, you still somehow just, like, hit this bottom part and never hit the spring sometimes, which is still something I don't quite understand. But yeah, that's the whole point. Then you get the mushroom, then you're able to, like, run through. That's the whole idea, and then you obviously have to go down here to get the star coin. Then you go up. Then we have these, then you slide down. Then you slide down. Notice how I actually keep the little trend here, although I didn't put it in the right colors. Oh, I know why, because I didn't have enough, it would have been kind of impossible to put, like, the blue right there, like that. But, yeah. But yeah, then you go, then you have to do some jumping, and then you go down the pipe. Now, here's something a bit interesting. For the rainbow effect, like, the way, I mean, you've already seen it, but it goes from red to this, as best as I can get, orange. If I used all springs, it would actually fill up the entity limit very fast, so I couldn't do that. So I had to just put, like, P-switch blocks, and then on top of it, put springs. Then we have yellow, then we have green, and then we have, I guess, a blue, like a dark blue. There's no purple, because there's not, like, a purple block. I mean, I guess what I could have done, admittedly, is use this as the purple block. Like, I could have done that, and then use this as the blue block. But it was one of those cases where it's like, well, I mean, I still think this works. Like, it works as fine, in my opinion. But yeah, alright, anyways, that's the main area done. Well, almost. We still have to get the end of the level, but we'll worry about that in a little bit. And then once you get here, there's actually a star. Now, I had to make it do this, although admittedly I probably could have just went like that. And made it so that I didn't have to do this awkward setup. Meaning that, oh, whoops. If I go inside the pipe... If I go inside this pipe here, I could have just went like this. Well, assuming the blocks were still red, but you can get the star. So I feel like that would have been easier than just being like, oh, here's this awkward setup where the star stays in place for at least one cycle. It's like, I don't know why I did that. But anyways, the stars are right there, and then we go down another slide, then we have spike ball, we have this, and then we have thwomps. Now, as I mentioned before, the star coin is actually behind the thwomp. Oh, what the, why was it? Oh, because the thwomp is right there. Yeah, the star coin's behind it. Now, the point is that, like, the star would get rid of it. You can also, although I never do it, the point is with the thwomps that you can also go above the thwomps like that, but the camera doesn't really let you do that because of how limited Mario Maker's camera is. If I would have had it rather zoomed out a little bit so you can take the top path, realizing it's much safer. I guess another good way to make you show that you're supposed to go to the top path, or it would have been, you know, you could have went to the top path, is going like this. Putting coins up here. And like that would have indicated that you could have actually gone up here. Now obviously this isn't quite the like the right setup it needs to be. But like you get the point, like how you're supposed to like get your way through. Oh, whoops. You're supposed to, like, how you're intended to take the top path. Although, funny enough, when you do have the, oh wait, I can't do it here. Where is, the, spiny shell net? Here it is. Oh, I can't put it directly on Luigi. Well, let's just put the spiny helmet right there. And I'm gonna put Luigi right here. With the mushroom, because you're most likely gonna have the mushroom, and... You know what? Let's have that little, let's have that little setup where it changes the blocks to blue. So, let's do that, and then you need to grab a, spring. Then you need to turn it sideways, put it here, and then grab a, you need to grab a spike. Where is it? Here it is. Make it into a spike ball, and then you put it there, and that lets you get through. Oh, whoops. But, like, I'm pretty sure you can actually just use the spiny helmet. Yeah, it'll also get rid of the thwomp, so you don't need the superstar if you manage to get the spiny helmet by just putting it on, instead of just, like, grabbing it. But yeah, you can do that. But apart from that, you can kind of see how I kind of make the rainbow road, essentially. That's what this whole thing is, like, supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a rainbow. Hence why it's called 7-Rainbow. And it's also based on the level, actually, I don't know what it's called, but it's based on a level in newer Super Mario Bros. DS, where you do the exact same thing, except that level is much cooler than this. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, then you have to do some obstacles, then you jump down, and then we have the end of the level, which has a bit of an interesting section, I will say. First of all, I don't know why there's no block here. Oh, whoops. Like, I don't know why that doesn't exist. And this is also one of those, like, there's a pick a path, but if you go up, you actually miss the start point unless you go down around. So, I feel like the best way I could have done it was if I got rid of this and made this go down lower and extended this a little bit further. So that it went... So that, what would end up happening is that you would fall, like, you would kind of just, like, fall down there, and then you would get it so that you couldn't really see it when you went from the top path. Alright. Now, one thing I did in my video, which I'm not sure, like, I'm not sure how many people watched, but in my no commentary video when I played this, through this world, I actually put, yeah, remember how I was mentioning earlier how this level in newer Super Mario Bros. DS? Well, I actually put that music into this level, or I edited, like, what I did was I edited the music. Although, unfortunately, you can still hear, like, the Cloudy Court, or not the Cloudy Court, like, the music from the actual game. Mainly just because I didn't do this. But, like, you would have seen, like, this little play clamp. So, what I would have had to do is I would have had to save the level into a different account and then play that. Which I guess it could have worked since I was editing the videos down so you only saw the levels and not, like, me selecting the levels. But, yeah, it was still one of those cases where it's, like, it's a bit annoying. Because I could have done it so, like, perfectly if I just went like this. I mean, obviously, like, with this setup here, I obviously had it, like, where, you know, it wouldn't have worked. But you get the whole idea, and, like, the music could have been so much better if you didn't actually hear the actual game itself. Oh, well. Anyways, that is this level. Honestly, one of my favorite levels that I make because it's just so much fun for me to just kind of play. And then we have to a, not that interesting level. Next. It's kind of unfortunate that that's just kind of how that works. Anyways, I just barely make that jump, wow. But then we have another one that's just like, okay, we're no longer going to space. We're gonna kind of drop down here. And avoid a couple of obstacles. But they're not that bad, let's be honest. And then we go into the store. And then we have this awkward thing again where a lot of athletic courses in the New Super Mario Bros. Games just has like the blocks that move weirdly. So I was like, okay, well let me do that. Yeah, I'm not surviving that. That's a bit embarrassing. Oh well. Anyways, you can jump up here. There's also a hidden block right here that I marked with these two flowers, although I don't think I show it off in the video. And then we have some parachute platforming if you want to do that for some reason. I don't know. Now, it's kind of funny. Okay, it's not this star coin, but there's a section in the level where it has this exact same situation where there's these bouncy clouds and there's the evil clouds right next to each other. And I guess this level kind of also has that too, but you can go, but like, I feel like there's not as much danger in this one in my opinion. Because you can kind of get it as you're moving along. But the next part of the level that has a section like that is much harder to avoid the evil cloud. Anyways, then we have some fun platforming. We have this, which is a bit weird because, I mean, it's uneven because of the fact that the flag is uneven. So, yeah. Otherwise, I should have went... Oh, whoops. I should have went like this. Like, it would have looked a bit weird, but at the same time, like, the checkpoint flags... Like, the fact that they're 2 blocks wide is so weird. Or in the level editor. But it makes total sense why. I will say. I will say that. But anyways, then we have a little power-up here. Then we have a little... I don't know what's going on downstairs with our dog. Here's a little P-switch that you have to hit. If this was a New Super Mario Bros. Game, this would have most likely been a Layer 0 wall. I'm calling it. But this is Mario Maker. We can't do that. Thankfully. Anyways, here, there's a star coin right there. You have to get it through the P-switch, and the P-switch, I don't think the P-switch respawns at all, so if you miss it, tough luck. Also, this is what I meant earlier about it's kind of hard to dodge. Now there's an evil cloud on the top, meaning it's much harder to kind of just weave in between. The way that I like to do it is go with it with enough speed so you don't have to use the high jump. You could just use the low jump. Except I accidentally went into it there, so that's a bad example. But you get the point where you just go like that, and then there you avoid it. And there, I didn't have enough speed. But there you go. And that's the end of the level. Or basically the end of the level. There you go, so... Honestly, I didn't really have that much to talk about compared to this level. Well, I mean, I had a lot to talk about 7-Dash Rainbow, because that level actually was, like, one of my favorite levels that I made. Because it was just, like... It took me quite a while to make it. And when I, like, finished it with it, I was just happy, because it was such an awesome idea that I had for a level. Anyways, we have 7-Dash Castle now. Okay, so now this is where things get a little bit interesting. This is where... Or not interesting, but more just like... It's another castle, I guess. There's not really a whole lot about it. I mean, hey, there's bombs, I guess. I don't know if I've used them before. There's also this awkward platform setup, which, now that I think that it looks like a certain section in newer Super Mario Bros. It was kind of by accident. And then here's a star coin. That is, a bit hard to get to, but that's just because the pipes can be kind of off-sync a little bit, so it can be kind of hard to just get inside the safety zone, and then, do some platforming above. And there you go. Honestly, I feel like the star coin is a little bit more clever, because, like, at least you can actively see the platforming you need to do to get to the pipe. And apparently I heard an explosion, but I think that's just the bomb walking into the lava. And then we have, these little platforms, oh well, where the moving platform goes in and out, but, like, there's still block on top that you can kind of get onto. And then we've got, power up of the level being Fire Flower. A lot of times the power up of the level is going to be Fire Flower. That's because there's, like, no Ice Flower or anything else I could do to make the levels a bit more, more variety. That's one of, like, the annoying things, like, I have to say about this game, I feel like. It's just how... There's certain stuff like the Ice Flower that, like, I feel like would be so cool if we can actually, like, have it in the level editor. But we just don't. So they choose to have stuff like the Flying Squirrel Suit, which are, like... I'd rather have the Propeller Mushroom or the Flying Squirrel Suit, not both in one like, level and stuff. Like, the Pea Balloon I kind of get. The Frog Suit I also get, but I feel like the Hammer Suit would have been cooler. But it's whatever. Whatever. I'm just rambling right now. This is a start point that's not that hard to get. It's just kind of like a, hey, this is a seesaw that kind of gives you a little bit of a lift to get there. Well, anyways, there's this little coin section, which is actually kind of hard to get to. First of all, it's hard to get to, and then it's kind of hard to escape. So, I mean, if you're really daring for those 9 coins, you can go for it. What if you can stand in between? Is this in between? Yeah, you can. That's kind of cool. If you get, like, the perfect angle, yes, you can. I think you can actually, like, skip this section if you have enough speed. Yeah, if you have enough speed, you can actually skip that section entirely without needing to go through this long pathway of a snake block. Don't understand why I still have these, but oh well.
Here we go.
They've just got more platforming. Again, said before, but a huge part of this world is just lots and lots of platforming. Here's a start coin that's a bit hard to get if you're small. I say a bit because, like, as long as you have enough speed, you can get to it. Anyways. Yeah, again, more fun platforming, and I made an error, so that's whoops on my part. Alright, and then here comes a not that hard to get inside pipe. And hey look, we're at the boss fight already. Now remember how I said earlier how Ludwig was the boss for World 6? And that's just because it made more sense for Ludwig to be the boss of a cloud-based world. And a spacey world, I feel like it would have also made sense for Ludwig, but it didn't really make a lot of sense for Morton to be the boss of a sky world, is what I'm trying to say. For a spacey world, I feel like it makes a little bit more sense. So that's why Morton is the final Koopaling here. Although, really, it does not matter. Because, you know, it's still a Koopaling. It's still probably one of the more easier bosses to take down. Trying to make it a little bit harder by having the 2 skewers and the fire bar at the top so you can't, like, camp on one side. But that's it. That's World 7. I love playing this world. In terms of like analyzing it and kind of looking back at it, the more I think about it, it's kind of bland and kind of boring in a way. Like, and when I'm going back, just like trying to see exactly what's going on. But I mean, this level is no, not that one. This level is the highlight. That's definitely the like highlight of this. Then World 7. Yeah, here's the World 7 end. This is one of those cases where you go like this. So as you can see, we have the fuzzies, we have the moving platforms, the Rainbow Ray Road, the little... And then we have, like, the giant pipe, even though I don't think you see that at all, and they have, like, the vine bubble thingy or something, I don't know. That's supposed to be the representative of each little, thing. There, and I don't think there's anything... Is there anything down here? Yeah, no, there's not. Alright, well, there's one last thing we have to go to. And that's the World 7 version of WorldBot. In fact, it's actually like the little thumbnail picture thing. Anyways, we go to World 3, or in this case, it's actually World 7.
Here we go.
First of all, I kind of like this music, but then you can kind of see... I mean, it's kind of a simple design for a level, but yeah, there you go. This one's kind of like you're climbing up into the space, so that's why it's kind of like in out of nowhere. I forget what that one is. That one is 7-3. So this one's 7-2 actually. Although this one does give you access to a little matchmaking minigame. And this is a 7-tower. At least it's appropriate with the fact that it's like that. Now this one's a little bit more interesting. All of the levels are actually at the end. And I just thought that would make things a little bit clever. And something that would also make things a little bit more clever is if 7-Rainbow was actually on a rainbow. And I just thought that would like be like the best idea. And also I just realized like how much like decoration did they give you? Honestly, not that much. That is really weird. Anyways, oh whoops. Here we have 7-5 and then finally 7-Castle. So yeah, not that interesting. But there you go. That is the entirety of World 7. That's the behind the scenes of World 7. Again, one really good level, the rest are kind of eh. But it's still one of my favorite worlds to play because, you know, it's space, and the space physics are very interesting to mess around with. But yeah, I'm going to end this video here. So thank you much for watching, and I'll see you another time. You let an 8-ball fall. Goodbye!